Hello, everyone. Cassidy King here. We got Mikey the Wall. This is the 2015 NFL Overs and Unders, brought to you by the Sports Goombas, powered by the sportsgoombas.com. And the Wall and I were sitting here doing our stuff that we do for next Monday night. And we were thinking, let's just do a show here of us preparing. And then we said, well, let's just do a show. So we figured this is going to be an annual NFL Under and Overs. Mikey,
we're going to
win
some money. Let's win some money.
We're going to earn you some cash. This is what we do. This is what the Sports Goombas is all about for the most part.
And don't forget, by the way, the program alert next Monday night.
Yep.
Normally you check in. Of course, you're checking us every Monday, 9 p.m. here at sgshow.net. It's actually, of course, Eagles kicking off next week. We're going to go 6 p.m. live, hour-long special to bring you into the Eagles game because, of course, we know you want to watch it. We want to watch it ourselves, of course. So next Monday, 6 p.m., sgshow.net. Check us out. That'll be the Monday show.
You got it.
The franchise.
Yep.
We're going to do over and unders. We're going to win you some money. We'll throw a team out there, throw the Vegas line. I'll tell you what you think, and then you cash in on them. Simple as that. We'll start with the NFC East, if you don't mind.
And just remember one thing, and I always say it. If you're paying your bookies, and
not our fault,
and you're watching the Sports Goombas, following us for the past 10 years, myself, the WAP, Brandon, everything, and you're still paying your guy after all this time, you're out of your mind.
Definitely not our fault.
Right. And I want you to know something, too. Too many plays lose too many ways. Now, that's just a saying. That's the truth. Stop betting so many games. Pick a couple like I do. Here, a little bit here, a little bit there, and you can win money.
It's the reason why on the Monday show we're not sitting here saying, okay, I like the Orioles, I like the Braves, I like the Giants. No, okay. He throws out 2 or 3 plays max. I'll throw out 1 play because you know why? Like I said, you throw too many things out there, you're bound to lose.
That's what they want you to do. That's why you get on these sites. They have so many different ways of playing now. They love it. They all 24/7. You bet everything.
17-team parlay. No thanks.
Action. Okay. Let's get right to
it. We'll kick things off. NFC East. Let's start. Let's go hometown. Let's go right into it. Philadelphia Eagles. What do they got? What's their over-under for them this year?
Philadelphia Eagles over and under. I believe it is 10-ski.
10 even.
I'm sorry. It's not. It's worse than I thought. It's actually 9.
9. An even 9.
An even 9.
Is that a typo? I know you're fumbling through your papers here.
It's a 9.5. I'm sorry. It's a 9.5 minus 160.
Again, I'm saying is that a typo? 9.5?
Yeah, you know what? I don't understand that either. Well, based on what they did for the preseason, you got to think they're nuts. But it is Las Vegas, and this is how they do things. So 9.5 really is a 10. So really, you're looking at a 10-6 football team right here.
Yeah, and that's what it is. That would be considered a subpar season for what we're expecting. 10-6. If we go 10-6, would you be disappointed?
I would.
Exactly, but you know what? But it still pays.
Right.
I don't even think we need to go into it. This is a clear cut over.
Right. We're not talking about who we want to win the Super Bowl. We're talking about money-making situations here, teams that you want to be on. Okay? Chip Potato and his crew, they're going to score some points. I know that. And in order to beat them, you're going to have to outscore them. There's not going to be defenses holding them down.
Not too many teams going to be able to do that. Yeah. Obviously, I think we both agree that's a clear over on that one. Then we'll go to the rivals, the Cowboys.
Yeah. Cowboys are a 9.5. Now that's surprisingly low because every year Cowboys are expected to win the Super Bowl in the majority of people's eyes. And
in the Cowboys fans' eyes.
And there's a lot of them all over the country. They're everywhere. You can't get rid of them, and that's you gotta live with them. That's the way it is. But that shows me something. That tells me something. 9.5. The over is 9.5 plus 115. The under is 145. So that's a 10-ski, man, right there. Definitely, they think.
I think it's an over.
It's another 10-6 football team.
Yeah,
minimum
10-6. Yeah.
Right.
I actually have them at 11-5. I have the Eagles at 13-3, by the way.
Playoff makers are 10-6 in this league. For the most part, division winners are 12-4.
Unless you're in the NFC South, 8-8's a playoff team.
Yeah,
but Cowboys at 9.5. That's a 10-win football team. So I go over there. Let's go the New York Giants.
Well, I like the Giants this year. I think they're going to surprise everybody. They're at 8. Okay, the over is plus 103. The under is minus 133. So it's an even game. It's an even pick there. Are they going to win 9 football games this year? It's going to be hard.
No.
But
simple answer, no.
Yeah, I think that's a 50.
Now, you always talk about this with the Giants. They don't put together back-to-back bad years. Last year was a bad year. That being said, I don't think this is the year that they come back and become a playoff team or anything that's going to win that. I think I have it 7 wins, so I have the Giants at under.
Makes you nervous about that. I haven't heard anything about their coach being fired. Usually he has to be on the hot seat
because the season hasn't started yet. Wait till he loses 2 or 3 games in a row. We'll all be hearing it. Time to set down Coughlin, blah 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 blah. But with the Giants, he said they're going to score some points. They're going to have some fun games to watch, but that doesn't always translate to wins, and that's all we think we care about. So I go under for the Giants. I'll wrap things up with the Redskins.
The Redskins are 6. I mean, they're a putrid. Let's talk about the Redskins a little bit. As one of the perennial failures in the last 10 to 12 years.
Yeah.
Okay. They have an owner who's clueless, who hires anybody who's got a name next on the list of coaches' football teams. He pays all this money for all these free agents. He had the number 1 draft.
He traded the farm
for the number 1 draft pick
for his third string quarterback.
Yeah. Third string quarterback who had his rookie year was his best year, and everything has been down since then. Who didn't know this guy wasn't going to get hurt running around like that? I knew it. We talked about it. The reason I gave the nickname C-3PO because that's the machine, and the machine's going to break. You don't give enough oil. You don't give enough protection.
If I had bet my life on it his rookie year, I would have said yes. Of course, we're going to do it. But nobody saw him being beaten out by Colt McCoy for the backup job.
Yeah.
He's fallen off the face of the earth. I mean, this guy was in Subway commercials. Bro, that doesn't mean anything now.
He's one of those guys who came out of college, looked like he could be tutored, but the limelight got to him. Now he's a party guy. There's stories about him and everything. His teammates, he has problems left and right.
Yeah, they don't like him.
Right, and that's not good for your quarterback. You end up getting smacked in the face sometimes.
If you go from the franchise quarterback to third string and nobody is coming out saying, in your defense, something's up. They don't like you.
They don't like you.
Yeah. They always talk about the Sports Illustrated curse or the Madden curse. I just thought of it now. The Subway curse.
Yeah.
Took down Jared.
Yep.
Took down Ryan Howard. Took down RG3.
And Jared couldn't throw a forward pass.
Next year, hopefully Trout's not out of the league in 3 years.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Redskins are the Redskins. They're
And what's their over under?
Redskins over under was a mere 6.
That's a clear under.
Yeah, I think that'd be a controversial. Once they go 0-5, Deshaun Jackson will start running his mouth, telling everybody how it's not his fault. Okay, it's the quarterback's fault. Everybody's fault but him, and his rap music is going down the drain. His creds are going bad, and all of a sudden he needs to be traded someplace out west.
Now, I have the Redskins winning 3 games. I have them going 0-6 to start.
Who do you have them beat?
I have them winning at home against the Buccaneers. I have them winning against the Bears. Then I have them stealing Week 17 against the Cowboys just because they had to win something in division. I was just being generous. I didn't know who else to give it to.
Being generous.
We'll go NFC North with the Green Bay Packers, the perennial favorites.
Packs are 11. They're 11 and minus 135. That's where they're going to be. They're going to be 11-12. They are every year. That's.
And you said they're 11. You said.
Yeah, 11. That's Aaron Rodgers. That's his wins.
That's an over.
11-12 wins. They'll win the division.
I have them at 13. And again, if you want to follow along with the website I'm using, it's a real fun website. You can actually go through the whole schedule and make your picks, and it auto fills the standings in for you. Check us out on Twitter at Sports Goombas. You'll be able to see that link there. So I went game by game for every team. I'm not just throwing numbers out, randomly for you. So I do have the Packers going 13-3 this year, which isn't over here. And I think you agree.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can't. Looking at the division and the league, you got to think who else is going to beat these guys. This NFC East is weak, top to
NFC
bottom.
North.
I'm talking the NFC. The
NFC.
Sorry, the NFC in general is weak. Yeah.
It's definitely the weaker conference of the two, which is good for us. Good for us as a Phillies fan.
It's the money.
Let's go with the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, they got their running back who we don't know is back because we didn't get to see him because they wouldn't put him in the backfield.
I still didn't get that. I mentioned this a couple of shows ago on a Monday, I think it was, or I don't know what it was, but he didn't play him at all. Not because he's hurt, not because of disciplinary reasons. I don't know why. Why didn't you play him? And they had the Hall of Fame. They had 5 opportunities to get this guy in the field for a carry. He didn't get one.
And no reason. There's no talk about it. I mean, not nationally.
Is there no concern?
I
haven't seen the guy play in a full calendar year.
There's got to be something up there. And if you look at their number here, it tells you that, they think there's something up there because they're under and over 7.5. Okay. But here it is. The 7.5 is minus 200. That's a big number for a minus. So they think it's going to be 8, or they're trying to sway you the other way. Mm-hmm. Don't look at the Vegas giving you gifts here.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they'll put 200. Oh, if they're paying 200, you got to be on that. You got to be on that over.
I do. I have the over for the Vikings. I have them actually winning 10 games this year.
10 games.
I do have them as my surprise NFC team this year. I do think Peterson, because health isn't a concern, obviously.
And who's their quarterback?
It's Teddy Bridgewater.
Bridgewater is becoming one of the patron saints of this.
Yeah, no, he's a patron. He's the patron saint of the Wednesday show.
But we've had discussions about. I mean, it's dangerous. It's getting dangerous with this guy. He's becoming every time we say Teddy Bridgewater,
he's a good quarterback.
It's a smile, laugh. Everybody stops and looks at each other like it stops everything for 2 seconds. You know?
But I think Bridgewater's progressing nicely. Peterson, I'd rather a guy miss a year because he beat his kid than miss a year because you tore your Achilles. So I think health won't be an issue with him. If anything, a year of rest will help him. The defense is still really good, and their schedule's not that tough.
How do you I know who he is. How do you not stick him in for a couple plays to get him just a knock?
I don't know.
A hit, something,
keep
a jolt,
it secret.
Anything.
I don't know. Keep him fresh. I don't know. But I have the Vikings winning 10, so I have as a good over. Detroit, the Lions.
Well, Detroit's Detroit. They're going to win 8. They're going to lose 8. They're going to win 7 or lose 9.
Funny
win 9, lose 7.
I had Detroit at 8-8, just that.
Right. They're 8.5.
So I'm going to go under.
The under is minus 155, so they think it's going to go under too. And I can't disagree with that. Megatron's back. Is he healthy? I don't know. He might be healthy.
Hopefully.
He's
for their sake.
It's been a couple years since he's been
because the backfield's a mess. So you don't really know what to expect there. You have Joik Bell and a rookie
quarterback comes and goes.
I mean, Stafford's hit or miss. But obviously the receivers are solid. Stay
away from Detroit. Detroit's not something you bet with. You don't bet 4 against them.
But the defense was surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Last year. For Detroit though, like you said, I have an 8-8, so I would go under. I wouldn't be shocked if they went 9-7 though.
Yeah, possibly.
So that's a tough call. I'd stay away from that one if I was the bettors out there.
If you follow me, typically you'll watch what I do. I'm more of a totals guy myself with side totals, especially since they're available now. I like to take a quarterback who can put points on the board and not worry about the wins or losses. So you'll follow me. You know who I'm with the big quarterbacks, and sometimes they don't score enough, but it changes as the season goes on. Obviously, Vegas catches up to them.
Mm-hmm.
But while it's
early season NFL is the best time to jump on.
While it's warm out, okay. I always think D-backs get tired in the heat. Cold, they don't get tired. I think they get tired in the heat, and they're susceptible.
And you're speaking from personal experience, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. I always get.
You play how many years? Yeah, DBX.
15 years. Yeah, 15 years.
Dow Green.
Yeah, it's 15 years. Backyard ball. That kind of thing.
Backyard ball.
Yeah.
Finally, we'll wrap it up with the pitiful Chicago Bears.
Well, not much you can say about Chicago. It's a team that's been a what if for years.
They can't be over 7, can they?
Well, quite frankly, I think they're on the 7, right on the nose, at a minus 135. Under.
So they are 7, right?
They're 7 minus. I'm sorry, 135 minus 235. That's the highest line on the board. Okay, so they don't even think there's no chance Vegas thinks they're winning 7 games.
No, and I don't either. I have been winning 3 games.
It's over 2-1 that they don't win 7 games.
I don't know what happened in Chicago. I really don't. I mean, the defense went to hell.
But the quarterback, man,
I know,
but can't play with a guy like that. He's got to go. He's got to go.
But he went to the playoffs.
It doesn't matter. Before is before. So did Tebow. I mean, he's got to go. This guy has no field generalism in him. He can't.
He's not a leader.
He doesn't get out there. The players are like, okay, we're ready to go downfield with this guy. It doesn't happen. And he's proved it. He's bailed out several times for 2 teams. It's enough for him. His name is no good anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I have been winning 3.
I'm not putting no money on that guy.
No
chance. No,
I'm putting money against that guy.
Against me, yeah, but
so,
I can't ride with him.
Clear under on Chicago. We'll move to the NFC South. The New Orleans Saints.
New Orleans Saints. Okay. They're at 8.5. 115 and 115, so it's even money both ways on that. That means that they don't know where New Orleans is going this year. Okay, they still got Drew Brees, so they got the names.
Yeah,
quarterback in the team. They got one of the better coaches in the NFL, arguably. 8-8's a number that that's I don't know. They don't have weapons anymore. Where's the weapons?
No, they don't. I think they're kind of relying on the fact that it's Brees and he'll make the out. But
he's not doing it like that anymore. He's not. He's pulling away from the pack. The other guys are still up there.
I mean, I like Cooks and Colson's still there physically. Other than that, I mean, the running back's still good. When you lose Jimmy Graham, and you don't replace him with anybody.
Nobody.
You just replace him with his backup from last year, Josh Hill. I mean, that's not anything. So I don't like New Orleans as like a real legit contender. Although for the over under 8, I got to go the over on that. I mean, the division's really, really bad in the South, and they're still New Orleans. I think off name value alone, I have to give them the over. I have to trust Breeze.
I hear you.
I'm at 9-7. Next up, we have last year's playoff team, the Carolina Panthers.
Terrible.
Terrible.
What did they make? They were 7-9, right in the playoffs.
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay.
They had to win like 5 straight just to get in.
Well, they're at 8.5 now, so they're predicted to win a game and a half better than they won last year. Minus 154 on the under. Okay, so they're telling you this is going to be under 8.5.
I have under. I have 8 and 8.
Yeah, I think they go back a little bit. I mean, go back. You know, it's so stupid to say
they're
that.
improving.
Yeah, it's 7-9. You're making the playoffs, and you know,
and they won a playoff game.
The sin of that is, you know, that teams that had a better record didn't make the playoffs. You know, in other divisions, they got to fix that. The seeding had every other sport seeds now. You know what I mean? For the most part.
Yeah, but
you know,
every sport has division winners get in.
Yeah. And the whole division thing.
It's just that every other sport, for the most part, has more teams per division. That's the thing.
More games played. So
yeah. So yeah,
that's a problem as well.
Although we've seen NBA where especially in the Sixers division, it's like the second place team is finishing like 15, 20 games under,
right?
Because of how bad it is. But again, they don't make the playoffs. But yeah, so Carolina had the under. I mean, I know you're not a Newton guy. I'm not really a Newton guy, but he has nothing. I like John Stewart in the backfield, but no receivers, and that defense is not that good anymore. It's not the old school Panthers defense, so I'm going under. Next up is the Eagles' Week 1 opponent, the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, the Eagles are, what do we say, they were 10?
Yeah, 9.5.
9.5, right.
It's a joke.
I think they'll win 12 games this year.
Atlanta?
No, I mean the Eagles. I'm not.
Go back to the Eagles. Yeah, I have the Eagles win 13. So
Atlanta, I don't. Matty Ice is no longer ice. Forget it. He's not ice.
Matty lukewarm.
He's a heater. You know what I mean? He's very, very disappointing past 3 years. Last year, I think his interception, the pick sixes were out of control. I mean, what do you have?
Well, it's because they were throwing just all game. They had no running backs to speak of, and they still really don't.
Overrated. That's what he's. You don't get a nickname unless you win in some football games.
He did early in his career. Everybody's assumed he would continue it. I mean, I don't have his career stats in front of me, wins loss wise, but his wins in his first 2 or 3 years, as compared to since then, it's unbelievable, and how bad the team has gotten. What was their over under though for Atlanta?
The over under Atlanta is 7.
Oh, I have on the dot.
7 on the dot, yeah.
All right, well, I have Atlanta winning 7.
Oh, you know what? My mistake. It's 8.5.
8.5.
I know. I looked over. And
you had one job, Cashy.
Yeah, I know. Well, you're not going in order now. So now you're going in order. Now I got to flip through to each one of these.
I know how tough it can be to read the headings. So 8.5 for Atlanta. I'm going to go with the under on that one. I think Atlanta.
That's very surprising. I
think Atlanta's dangerous. I honest to God wouldn't be shocked if they won more than 8.5. I really wouldn't be. But the money, if I am putting my money in the line, which I am doing right now, I'm going to go with the under. I have 7 and 9 for Atlanta.
The under is minus 150. So they're telling you they're going to be under the 8.5. That's what Vegas thinks.
That's what I think.
And that 150 is, that's the Mason Dixon line. That's anything above that, then it's you're pushing that way. So the Falcons have always they're the Falcons. They stay on that line. They're the one push for the title. They blew it.
They're on I haven't the same, but actually have the same record as the New York Giants. They're going to be points on the board, fun to watch, at least from an entertainment standpoint. Maybe make it ugly at times, entertaining to watch, I should say. But I don't think it's going to translate into a lot of wins. Yeah. We'll wrap it up with the cellar dwellers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
6 is a low number. It's not the lowest on the board, but 6 minus 130 on the over. So they think it's a low wins and loss. It's a low wins, but they're telling you that's the play.
They're telling you over is the play.
Yeah, over is the play on that.
I'm gonna disagree with Vegas here. I'm gonna go with the under.
Yeah, but it's only a 130, so it's not. It's just
it's a smaller one.
Yeah, to me at Tampa Bay, I wouldn't touch them right now. They're not a team that you want to be involved when you have money at stake here. I think.
I mean, I don't like their non-division games. I mean, other than the division, which does stink, which can throw out some opportunities. Other than that, they're playing, at Houston, which I don't think is easy. They play the whole East, so they're playing the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Giants, all these teams. They're playing at the Colts. They play at the Rams. So these are they're not easy games. So I only have Tampa coming through with 3 wins and rookie quarterback.
Yeah, that's
so.
Not my money.
I'm going to go under with that with Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Wrapping up the NFC, we have the West. We have the runners-up, the Seattle Seahawks.
Seahawks are 11. Okay, they're over 11 minus 150. I tell you, that's the way to go with it. Seahawks are still the Seahawks.
Yeah.
They lost a couple players. Their quarterback's in la-la land. I mean, the chicks are taking over on that team, which is, when you win Super Bowl, when you win a Super Bowl, you peer into them, you're a celebrity now.
He is. I mean, he got paid.
Yeah, he got paid.
He's got a new wife/girlfriend or whatever he's got.
Right, I don't know what. Yeah, and he's, I guess he found God or whoever. Somebody's
he's always
somebody's in his ballpark there.
God's always been his best friend.
I think Russell got a lot of distractions, and I still think he's a little pissed off at the play call last year. He should have had 2 Super Bowl rings on that hand, no doubt. So I don't know if the team lost faith in their coach. You haven't heard from him really that much, and he's not, he was kind of he was really shooken up, I thought, on the whole thing, even after that Super Bowl. Most teams don't stay up there this long. And very rarely do you come back after you lose a Super Bowl.
Yes.
Don't happen too often.
The stats are not in your favor.
One time. I think in the last 20, 25 years. I think it was.
When it comes to the Seahawks this year, I have them as an over. I do think I have them at 12 wins. But I'm hoping they less. I don't like them.
I think it's going to be under. I think they're going to step back this year. It's their time. It's it's if you look at the progression of how you got there, and the time and how you got to maintain yourself in the NFL, it's very hard to stay on top. Only one team seems to be able to do it on a regular basis.
We'll get to them.
Yeah. So Seattle, they lost some of their defense. They got disgruntled players over there. They got a quarterback who's distracted by the knee weaker. So all that put together, I don't think Seattle comes through this year.
Their non-divisional schedule is not an easy one.
Right.
They have to go at Green Bay, at Dallas.
Yep.
They have to play Detroit, Minnesota, who I mentioned I like, and then they play the AFC North, which is not. It's not like
Dallas beat them there last year.
Yeah, it's not in the powerhouse teams, but when you have to play Baltimore, you have to play Pittsburgh, you have to play Cincinnati. They're all teams who can beat you. So I don't like the schedule. I hope they don't win more than 11 games. I would love to see them lose a lot.
Right.
But again, their division is weak, and they're still Seattle. The defense is they lost some players, but I think the defense is still will get them to at least have them at 12 wins. After that, we have the Arizona Cardinals, last year's playoff team.
My surprise team. That's the team that I think that last year. And I say it once again. I say a surprise, but they won last year.
But they weren't supposed to.
They weren't supposed to. This year, Aaron's a good coach. He's a good football coach, a football mind. And that always works well in the NFL. Not too many good coaches lose, and I don't know how to put that, but if you go back, you look at, I can only think is the last good coach to really lose it with a team was the Redskins, Shanahan. He took a team down the drain.
Yeah.
You don't see good coaches do it. Usually they bail out before that happens.
He bailed out, but they were bad.
He knew
he went to a playoff, though, but
he got so pissed off at his owner, he demolished his football.
Yeah, he just decided, I'm going to run the quarterback on the ground, call it a day, and then never play, never coach again. But what's Arizona's over-under?
Arizona's 8.5, and the under is 8.5 minus 150. So you're pointing to, the 8.5 is the number, the over. You want the over 8.5, 9 wins, which is not hard to think that they could do.
No, it's not, because their defense is as good as it is.
Remember, they won games without scoring touchdowns.
Yes.
Okay.
I have Arizona at 8-8.
Yeah.
So I do have it under, but again, this is kind of in the same situation as Detroit, where I could very, very easily see them going over 8. I would stay away from this one altogether.
Yeah.
San Francisco 49ers, or what's the artist formerly known as the San Francisco 49ers.
It's unbelievable what's happened to a football franchise like that for no reason. I mean, it's not like they're injured. They just don't want to play.
There wasn't any kind of major scandal other than, they had a couple guys who kept getting arrested and stuff, but it wasn't anything where it's like, okay, we all got to bail. They just bailed.
Yeah, guys,
they retired at 24, 25 years
yeah.
old. The coach stopped coaching professional football.
Yeah, right.
The best linebacker in football just decided to hang it up.
It's almost like something happened down there. Everybody had to quit. Something went wrong.
And sadly, the only person who stayed was Kaepernick, there's about 5 guys who left, though I'd rather keep than Kaepernick.
Yeah, he went downhill quick too.
Yeah.
He was supposed he was the next one. He had all that. He had all what they call, he had the tools. He had all the way around.
Rocket arm,
speed,
tall.
Yep.
Yeah.
He had what they call that skill set.
Mm-hmm.
Had the whole thing wrapped up in one.
Yeah, but the thing you can't judge, is the mind.
Yeah.
Is
a couple nice hits. Listen, I had a thing when we were back on the radio station, and he had that magazine. He was on the front page of the ESPN magazine, all cut and tattooed up, and
the body issue,
sporting the body. I'm saying to myself, I said right to B. I said, B, that's the end. Once you're distracted like that, he hadn't won anything yet. He was just the next flavor in the NFL, which the NFL is always looking for flavors. And they slapped him on that, and he became bigger than life. He had the was it the Dre headphones, Beats headphones, whatever.
It's a good commercial,
right? Oh, but here it is. It's a good commercial if you're Tom Brady or you won a Super Bowl. Not if, but you know what I'm saying.
I know what I mean.
You got to win some in the NFL. They push you up. It's like Tony Romo had the star on his helmet. All of a sudden, he's top quarterback and won shit. Still hasn't won shit. 2 playoff games, big deal. Don't get me started on him, man.
So anyway, the Niners over under.
Personally, I think they're going to be under. It's going to be a sad season for them.
What's the number?
The under is 174.
What's the number though?
6.
6?
Yeah.
Woo.
6.5. I'm sorry, 6.5. It doesn't matter. It's going to be a sorry season for them.
Now I have the Niners I have them at 6 wins, which would technically be under, but again, I could see them winning more just because 6.5 is such a low number. I mean, for a team that has
players, who do they have?
I know they lost a lot of guys.
No running backs, wide receivers.
They have a good running back. Hyde is supposed to be good. You drafted him high. He's supposed to be good.
You can't be supposed to be able to win.
Well, we haven't. You can't say he is because you have. I mean, when he did play, he was.
Your
good.
defense is chopped.
Yes.
I mean,
yes, it is.
It's gonna be a lot of tossing in that game, a lot of throwing. That means a lot of picks for him.
And they have a tougher schedule.
Yeah, and it wasn't nothing to do with San Francisco.
Tougher. I'm just. Yeah, I mean, I have it under, but I could see it going over.
This is the Niners' year to lose as many games as they can and get a good pick. That's what it is, or be able to trade away picks or work some deals out to get that team back to where it's supposed to. They got a new stadium. They gotta
fill it.
Gotta fix that up.
I can tell you now, it's not gonna be filled this year.
No,
they're not exactly diehards out there in San Francisco.
Not anymore.
No,
not anymore.
No, this isn't the '90s anymore.
Yeah.
We'll wrap it up with St. Louis, the Rams.
Rams are 7.5. The under and over 7.5. The under is a -129, which is nothing, and the over is 101. So, but the Rams are the Rams. They're a Jeff Fisher defensive team. They got Nicky Montana is over with them now, which I don't think he'll complete a whole season. I think he's one good plaster away from being out again. Good guy, good quarterback, can make the throws, but I don't think he's tough enough in the NFL.
Nick Foles, he peaked with the Eagles, obviously. I think we can all agree with that. But
by accident?
Because he peaked because he had a good system with a good coach, and he had some weapons. He doesn't have, I mean, you could say Fisher's a good coach, maybe. Doesn't have a system. And he doesn't have talent around him in St. Louis. It's going to get ugly. Yeah. I have him at 6-10, so I do have him going under.
Vegas is iffy with
it's
this
a shame
one.
because their defense is really good.
They won some games with their defense last year.
They did. Physically, they won games with their defense and then special teams. They have some young weapon receivers, but I don't think Tavon Austin is ever going to be anything. Yeah, he's not. It's not. I don't think it's going. He's too small. I prefer a bigger guy. Running backs are both young and they're both banged up as well. So I don't see. And the line is still the same line Bradford was getting hurt behind, so I don't see anything different.
Well, wait a minute. Bradford didn't get hurt behind it. He didn't get a chance to get hurt behind it.
Well, he got hurt behind it for the last 5 years.
Right.
So, yeah, I have it under on St. Louis, and that wraps up the NFC. When it comes to NFC, for a sleeper team that's not in the conversation of playoffs, who would you say? Who do you like?
Yeah, I told you I liked Arizona. It's got to be other than Arizona because I call them a sleeper, but they're really not a sleeper.
But they are still technically a sleeper.
They surprised the hell out of me last year, but they all on defense.
Yeah, I don't think anybody right now is sitting at home looking at their schedule going, oh, no.
To me, if you listen to me, I think the New York Giants are a sleeper. Yeah. I think when you give Eli enough weapons, and it's all about scoring now in the NFL, you look at the East itself, you got the Eagles are the team.
But since we're doing over-unders, can we do Eli Manning's over-under interceptions 20? He's gonna throw over. Like he can't help it. He can't help himself.
His discipline doesn't allow.
He can't help himself. He's always trying to gunsling, and he gets himself into a lot of problems. Just because it's their division, I can't see it because I don't think 3 playoff teams are going to come in from one division, and I don't see them beating out the Cowboys or Eagles.
Right.
My sleeper, I like the Vikings. I think they're going to make the playoffs this year. Like I said, I had them at 10 wins, so I think that's enough to get them in. I'm a Viking guy this year. All right, we'll go out to the AFC now. with the reigning and defending Super Bowl champions, the New England Patriots.
By a nose. By the hair of the ball. New England's in trouble.
By a bad decision.
New England's in trouble this year, and not in a football way. They're in trouble because now, that Brady's now the Don of football.
Wait, the NFL's out to get them now?
Yeah, Brady might be one of the most powerful men in America. Because you look at the power standings of life in this world, you have big oil, you have the insurance company, the mortgage companies, and the NFL. So when you look at the power of the influence and money that goes, the NFL is a powerful organization, man. I mean, come on, let's face it. They,
multi-billion
they move and they shake. Well, he beat the movers and shakers, whether they wanted to or bailed out, whatever. But whether the judge had him on his fantasy team or not, I don't care. Bottom line is, when he walked out of the courthouse, he was playing game one, and Goodell, who's that guy, man? Hey, put him in the bathroom. Put that Goodell in the bathroom. That's what he says.
That's your thing.
So, coming back to here now, the media, everybody's focused. Already, yesterday, today, they're going back to Spygate to 10 years ago. Who gives a shit? You're not going to change nothing, so why go after it? What do you want to do? Find. Is there something out there that we don't know about? Which cell phone was focused? What did they do? They got the scripted plays?
There's nothing they can do about it now.
Yeah, they didn't win every football game. Forget about it. Move forward and fix it so it doesn't happen again. Don't bring that back. You're not going to fix it. You're just going to make more controversy, and you're going to make the league look even more stupid when you bring in judges and other people that have nothing to do with 1st and 10. You know what I mean? Stop the off-the-field crap. And unfortunately, the Patriots are going to win on a Super Bowl. And it's like a goddamn thing they can do about it. Because Gronk is...
I would never bet against the Patriots.
Yeah, you got two guys who can control a football game by themselves. One way or another.
Yeah.
If Gronk stays healthy... who's going to stop these guys?
Yeah.
He's got two little outside white guys who are 5 foot nothing, 100 and nothing, playing great.
Just running around those
circles.
Chickens with their heads cut off.
That's it. And as long as he has a wall in front of him,
which he has,
and he can step up in the pocket, and he doesn't panic. Is he cheating while he's doing that? I don't know. Is there a way to cheat in the pocket? I don't know.
No, you can't cheat when a game's being played. You're not cheating.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless you're deflating footballs.
Yeah. I don't know. The talent speaks for itself. Were they stealing plays? I don't know. Does that make a difference to the betting world? Maybe. I don't know. Was I on that game in Philadelphia in 2004? Yeah, I was on the other side. I lost anyway.
What's
that being said?
What's their number?
It's 16-0.
Yeah, I'll take a push. I'll take a push.
The under and over is 16 for the Patriots this year. Now, actually, they are. I believe they're. I can't believe it. 10.5.
A 10.5.
10.5. Yeah, minus 136 on the over.
Wow.
So the numbers on the over side. So 10-11 wins. So, and this is dated today. So this is already in there before the change happened. But look at what they do with the Patriots. They lose. They're 12-4 football team.
At worst.
Worst. Okay.
I mean, I put him at 13-3, and that's only because I had to give him losses. So I had to find losses for him. Yeah. So they're taking in fact that Brady's getting a little older, regardless if he's healthy or not. He's still older. A lot of controversy this year. His preseason wasn't focused, so to speak. He was more focused on his court battle, what he was going to do. So I think as a team, they weren't focused. They're thinking in their head, okay, we have Garoppolo for 4 games. That's all to win it now. Now you have Brady. You have a pissed off Brady, right? But then you got to go. There's some new guys. You got to shift back. There's stuff. He hasn't. Did he play in the preseason at all? Yeah, he played. Yeah, he played well. I don't know. I didn't watch. I wasn't looking at stats. Well, 2 or 3 snaps. I was actually looking at more at Garoppolo stats because I was thinking. Yeah, but you got to think the focus in his head on is what's going on here. Yeah. You're getting up and shooting a tie every morning, going to the court and facing a bunch of idiots. Yeah, it's tough. They need to face idiots. With that being said. New England's still the top team in football. That's an easy over. I can't. There's no one. Yeah. If there was another team, I could say, yeah, they're better than Patriots. I would say it, but I can't find that team right now. Mm-hmm. Not in the AFC, that's for sure. Yeah, and when it comes to New England, I mean, the model of consistency. Yeah. I mean, are you ever going to bet? You would actually bet your hard-earned money to them for them to not win 10 games or not win 11 games. No. I wouldn't do that. I don't bet against Brady. Even against Manning, I don't. Even the year he tore his ACL, they still won 10. If Manning plays Brady, I go to sleep. That's why I have to be involved in the situation. You don't get caught up.
And that's a Monday night game. I'm going to bed at 7.
Yeah.
Sunday, I got something else to do.
And I love the fact that
go get a sandwich.
I love that they play the opening night game because with Goodell, obviously Goodell's going to be in attendance. It's opening kickoff. He's got to be there. Brady's going to want to give him the old.
Yeah.
After every touchdown, I'll turn right to the booth upstairs.
Bring Giselle down. Hey,
yeah. Anyway, come on, PG show. No, we got the Miami Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins. Now, that could be a surprising football team. I have them on my fantasy because I like their defense, and they had the easiest freaking first 6 games of football.
Yeah.
Bar none. I look at these teams that they're playing, I'm saying, you know what? I might have to be on these guys.
I'll throw them out there for you, by the way.
Well, the other thing is Miami's not a high-scoring football team.
No.
They play to win the game, and then they hold you down.
They play to win the game.
Right. They don't care about scoring.
No.
It's get the team, get ahead of the other team, and then we'll hold it down.
I mean, they just brought in the best free agent in football of all the ones that are out there was Sue. So that just bolstered that defensive line even more.
The under-over is 9.
9.
Now the over.
I wish it was 8.5. I really do.
The over is 163. So they're looking for this to go over. It's a 10-win season from Miami.
I have them at 9-7, but I wish I could make them 10-6. I think they're going to win 10 games. I got to find because the losses I have them losing. I have them losing to New England, Indy, New England, Philly, Dallas. Like these are games that they probably mostly are going to lose. I have them slipping up against a Buffalo and a San Diego.
Don't give Dallas too much credit.
No, I know, but I have them losing to Dallas. Yeah. And Miami's at home for that game, so let's hope.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can say the first 6 games. How about this? Redskins, Jaguars at home against Buffalo, at home against the Jets, Tennessee Titans at home against the Texans. Wow. That's how they start this year.
Yeah, that's why I stuck them up on the fantasy at the very end.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So but that's a good stretch to get. I mean, at the very least, get the momentum. That'll give them some momentum. If you start out 5-6-0, get the good momentum on your side.
Right.
I have them. I have them technically push if they're an even 9, but I actually like them to go over. Right. Buffalo Bills.
The Bills.
Coached by your boy.
Listen, if it's a Rex Ryan coach team, it might win some football games, but it's never going to win a title. End of story. Buffalo's they're 8.5. They have. And they're not that great of a team. Their schedule's tough because they're not that good of a team. Mm-hmm. So 8.5 is about right for them. The 8.5, the under is 160. So they think they're going to lose more than 8. They're going to lose 9. I think just the fact that there's a new coach and a new way of playing, some players from other teams are now on that team. It's got to be put together for a year.
No, their schedule is they have the anti-Dolphin schedule. They start the year off against Indy, New England, Miami.
Lose.
Yeah. And it's at Miami, too. So, that's not the way to start a season, especially when you're going into it with a banged-up Shady and Tyrod Taylor.
And when you have that situation with Rex Nutball Ryan.
0-3, Rex Ryan.
Yeah, jumping out of helicopters and doing all kinds of – he can't – that stuff, that's when they go after that stuff. That's when they go after, why aren't you focused on your football team on the offseason? Whether it's his life or not, doesn't matter. Losses reflect what your coach is doing.
So, I have Buffalo winning 8. I could see him getting over, but I'm going to be cautious and say I don't think they're going to win 9 games this year.
Yeah,
I mean, their quarterback situation's a mess.
Their coach loses 1 to 2 games a year.
You have their quarterback's a guy who's been in the league for 5 years and he never started before. There's a reason in 5 years nobody gave him a shot. Maybe he's not really that good.
Yeah, he's a little Tebow-ish.
Yeah, and it's not like he sat the bench for one team behind a superstar for 5 years.
Yeah.
He's bounced from team to team to team.
It's not
because
good.
nobody ever wanted him.
Not good.
So I have wonder there. We'll wrap it up with Rex Ryan's old team, your New York Jets.
The New York dysfunction Jets. I love this football club. Every year there's always a reason why they lose other than what they play on the field. Todd Bowles, forget about it. I mean, I would never have him from my head. He doesn't qualify for coaching work. I don't think he does. Defensive coordinator, backfield coach, defensive coordinator. I mean, New York.
When you're the coordinator of a strong
Jets
unit,
needed to bring in a big name, someone who could build a football team, not take.
They tried that with Rex.
I don't think Rex was that kind of coach. He wasn't
a big personality.
Name. Well, no, I'm talking about bringing in a coach who's got
Parcells,
a pedigree for winning football games. I don't care if it's a good college coach, somebody who's going to get in there and focus.
But does anyone really want to go there? Is there a big name guy who says, I would love to go to the Jets?
Yeah, well, no, I guess not. I mean, that's another problem.
Yeah.
You can't get a coach because your organization's a mess, and they don't want to pay for it. They're not going to pay millions of dollars for a coach. You know,
and I mean, you mentioned pulling a college coach. That's not as easy as you think. It's not like,
yeah, I know,
because I said when you're a college coach, first of all, you're made. You're absolutely made, and you know that. Look at Paterno. Look at all these guys. You can be there for 40 years.
Right.
Whereas you go to the Jets, if you don't win in 3, you're out.
Right.
You're unemployed.
Yeah, it's a
Now you have to start back at some low level college.
You
team.
got to find that guy. I mean, or you can just keep retreading.
No, the retread's not the way. I like the way they went. I like the fact that they went for a top coordinator. Again, I agree with you. I don't know if Bowles
I would make
is the
him
guy
a top coordinator
because he was the coordinator of one of the best defenses in football. That's all. That's all it really takes.
Yeah,
Look at all the guys who are getting jobs as Ravens D coordinators back in the day.
Yeah, I know that's true. That's the
it's
way
just
it
because
goes.
you just happen to be their coordinator, right? You're my new coach.
I just need the Jets.
Gus Bradley when he went to Jacksonville.
I think the Jets need a tyrant. They need someone who's not going to take no shit from anybody. You hire me, you take me, I take care of things. Like the Parcells type.
Yeah.
I know Parcells did time there and he couldn't handle it either. But that was
winning solves everything, and the problem is there's not going to be a lot of winning.
Right.
What was your number? We didn't have to throw it out there.
The New York Jets were a measly 7.5,
Under.
which is high for them.
Under.
I think. Yeah.
I am at 6-10. I thought even 6-10 was being pretty generous.
Who's their quarterback?
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He's good. The ex-Buffalo Bill, right?
Yeah, the ex-Buffalo Bill, the ex-Titan, the ex-Ram.
He's 2 X's, man. And when's the busted jaw coming back?
Whenever it heals. They said 6 to 8 originally.
Yeah, I can see the offensive line holding the players back on that guy.
Yeah. So I mean,
he's done.
I think it's going to cause a distraction
It's embarrassing.
when he's ready to come back.
It's an NFL embarrassment to know that your starting quarterback can actually take on a punch, slap, whatever from a third string lineman
who got cut.
Cut.
Whether he got punched or not, was probably going to get cut.
And then got cut again.
Yeah, got cut again. By the guy who drafted him.
By the guy who drafted him, right. So, that can happen on an NFL team. I mean, that doesn't happen on a college team.
Yeah.
That very doesn't happen on a high school team. High school quarterback gets touched. Everybody's all over him.
High school, yeah, even the quarterback's the man.
Yeah. So that's way past believable. So I think he's pretty much done.
Yeah.
Put a fork in that cat.
So we both agree under on that one.
Yeah.
We'll go up north, Baltimore Ravens.
The Ravens always there. They're always there. Somehow or another, always there. They're at 9. And that's them. 9-10. 9-10. That's their average. That's what they do. And that'll get them in the playoffs, and they'll get a chance to stun somebody. Flacco will come out of his cash shell.
They'll win a game, then lose the next round, or they'll be one and done, something like that.
And Flacco's a typical, I got my cash, now I got to preserve my body and my life so I can spend my money
Nothing
with
wrong
my
with
wife.
that.
Well, that's
He's got a ring. You got a ring and the cash.
That's it. And he can live
What
on
more do
that
you
for
want?
the rest
What
of
more do
his
you
life.
want?
Not many guys can say they had a ring in this world. So it's a big deal.
For Baltimore, you said what, they're 9?
9, yeah.
I have them winning 10, but I don't like Baltimore. I think their offense is kind of weak. And the defense isn't what it used to be.
That being said, it's 159 is the number for the overs. So the Vegas thinks they got a chance to win 10.
Yeah, I mean, I have it at 10, so I'm because of that, I'll say
average.
over.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
They win 10 football games.
So I'll take over Baltimore. Let's go with Pittsburgh.
I like the Steelers. The Steelers with their inept defense.
It's new school Steelers.
Yeah, new school.
It's not the tough nose.
They don't have that
defense.
player. There's not that player on defense you got to worry about, or you don't have.
They
to
still have. I mean, as an authority figure, James Harrison.
It's old.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. He's more of a figure than he is the actual talent.
He's just trying to get out of the game every time he gets on there now. Healthy. Pittsburgh's going to have a setback year. They're going to score some points, but not going to hold anybody. They're sitting on an 8.5 right now, under and over.
If it's 8.5, I'm going to take the over.
Yeah.
Because I have them at 9-7. I don't have them going to the playoffs. I don't think they're going to make it.
Ben Roethlisberger is probably the most underrated quarterback in the
last 10 years. I wouldn't say underrated. I would say he's for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say most underappreciated.
Yeah, well, because he got in trouble.
Yeah.
He got his reputation was shot because he liked the girls, and who knows what happened with that. That's all.
And because in the beginning of his career, when he won a couple of Super Bowls, people thought of it more as he just managed the offense and the defense carried him. Where now we're seeing it's not really the case. He's going to be the one carrying the team this year.
Ben's one tough guy, man. He's big, tough. He's got a good arm, and he goes down a little bit, comes back, and he's.
And I know this is off subject, but Ben Roethlisberger, Hall of Famer when he's done.
He's got 2 rings.
Yeah, he does.
He's got 2 rings, and
with the age that we play in now and his offense, he'll eventually the numbers will catch up to the rings.
Yeah, I think he will be. I think he gets in there because of He was a tough quarterback. He was prototypical of the old school quarterbacks. You know, sits in there, takes a beating, keeps it licking, keeps on ticking. You know, I'll go back to quarterbacks like the one that just passed away for the Raiders. Kenny Stabler, like back in those days, a Bradshaw type. You know, that kind of quarterback. Not pretty on how he does it, but gets it done.
Yeah, and you can say you get hit him directly in the mouth, and he's going to get up and he's going to keep playing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He will limp up to the line of scrimmage. I like Big Ben, but you know, he's got the rings.
Just like you say, with him being undervalued, I think it'll be one of those things where we'll look back 5 years after he's retired and go, you know what? He was pretty damn good.
People are talking about him now because he had a good season last year.
Yeah, he did.
And if they win this year, if they haven't win, it's going to be because of what he did.
And he's not a fast guy at all. He's a big lunky,
quarterback smarts. He knows,
he escapes well.
Yeah,
he gets hit a lot. He gets hard.
He's not scared,
but he doesn't go down.
You can escape if you're not scared.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Eli Manning can't escape. He feels that pressure. He wants to go down, or he's worried about getting crushed. Well, he's small. So, I mean, that's the mentality of a quarterback, that type of quarterback.
So that being said, with Pittsburgh, I do have Pittsburgh as going over 8.5. I just don't think they're playoff team. I think the defense is pretty weak.
Yeah.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Cincinnati is Cincinnati. They're always Cincinnati. They're 8.5. I mean, they were rising for a while there, and then they stopped short. They got a quarterback who is...
They can't win the playoffs.
Yeah.
They have a coach who can't win the playoffs and a quarterback who can't win the playoffs.
Yeah, he's not tough enough.
I can't believe he's still there.
Well, what else they got? You know?
Yeah, I mean, he's skated by without winning a playoff game for like 12 years. Like, we got sick of Andy Reid because he couldn't win a championship. At least he was winning playoff games and getting us there. These guys don't won a playoff game in like 12 years. He's still there. That being said, who
did he start out with?
Ravens defensive coordinator.
No, the quarterback, I mean.
Oh, Dalton?
Yeah.
Well, he started out with Cincinnati.
And he's been there for that long?
No, I'm talking about the coach.
The coach, yeah, okay. I was going to
say. I was talking about Marvin Lewis.
Marvin Lewis is, he's got staying power for some reason out there.
He's got something on somebody.
Yeah. Well, the 10 years, man, you got to win something.
And he hasn't won anything.
He hasn't won anything, yeah.
I mean, I'm pull up the Bengals history. I mean, he keeps getting to the playoffs. Don't get me wrong. He's been their coach since 2003.
Wow.
He has got 0 playoff wins.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah. So this will be his one. He's
well-liked dude.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is his 13th year. He's got
one player blow
his
head off a couple of years ago, right? Out in the parking lot.
That wasn't his player.
What was that?
Oh, yeah, it was?
Yeah, somebody did that.
No, it was the Chiefs.
That was the Chiefs?
It was the Chiefs. Yeah. We had to darken the mood here. Blew his head off. But the one thing...
blew his stinking head clean off.
The one thing in Lewis's favor, like I said, he's real comparable to Andy Reid with the fact that he's been so long but never won anything. He's only ever had 2 losing seasons over the entire time. Marvin Lewis?
The dude with the cancer last year. That's right. With the young girl.
Andre Waters?
No.
What?
Cincinnati had the...
Oh, yeah. I know. It was a linebacker.
Yeah.
He's actually from Maine. I forget his name.
ESPN had the whole thing with him. That's all. I got some stuff mixed up. Anyway, what are you saying?
Durant, I think his name was.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But either way, you said with their number, you said 8.5.
8.5. The under is minus 145. So
I had them going under.
Yeah, probably.
It's just I don't trust Dalton. I mean, I had hope going into last year that Dalton would be a competent quarterback. It's just, I think
stats quarterback.
Stats
quarterback hasn't had the ability to win the big ones.
Because he's got a great receiver to throw to. He's got a solid running game behind him. I don't think the defense is anything special. I don't think it's awful.
Yeah.
But it's a tough division. Not so much that it's all like star teams, but that division more than any division in the NFL beats the hell out of each other.
Right.
The NFC North, the AFC North. So yeah, I got to go under that one. And you agree with that one, or are you going over?
Don't really matter to me. I think I say the under.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's a bad football team.
Yeah, it sounds like great. If you just replace them with a good quarterback, I would take this team to go. I think it would have
you can say that a lot of teams.
No, I know, because if you give the Rams a good quarterback, I don't think they're going to do anything. Yeah. Or if you give Cincinnati with those weapons they have, I think it would be a good team. I'll wrap up the AFC North again. Sorry, with the Cleveland Manziels.
Cleveland, they just know what they ought to do. I tell you what they should put Manziel's face on the helmet, make him the mascot. You know what I mean? Rah-rah mascot for Manziel.
And the old Brownie outfit.
Yeah. It'd be perfect.
He already looks like him anyway. He looks like the old Brownie.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He's got that face. He's got that jaw. Anyway, we won't have to worry about if we see his jaw behind center.
If you take the under and you see him playing quarterback, collect your money. Just tell your bookie you want it now. Don't wait till week 17.
Right.
I don't know what the over-under is.
He's the anti-Tebow.
He's still in the league, so yeah, it's anti-Tebow. What's the Cleveland over-under?
Cleveland over-under is 6.5. Now the under is 160.
I had them winning 5 games, so I'm gonna go under for Cleveland.
There it is. Yeah.
I mean the offense is kind of a mess. There's no weapons. Their tight end, but was a weapon, Cameron, with the Miami. Their receiver smoked himself out of the league. They have their running back. I'm pretty sure was an undrafted rookie last year. I like Crowell. But he's not anything reliable. And obviously, the quarterback situation is a
smoked
mess.
himself out of the league.
He did. He can't stop drinking and smoking. I don't know it's not that hard. You want to if your job, which paid you a lot of money, said, look, just stop getting high and drinking and driving, and you still couldn't manage to do that, then you deserve to be out. So I have Cleveland at 5 wins, which would be clearly an under here. And you have?
What, for Cleveland?
Yeah, we have them.
Yeah, they're 6.
I think it's pretty obvious you have them as an under.
Yeah, I mean, who are they beating? That's why I tell you.
They do play at home against Tennessee,
and that's,
Oakland.
That's 3 or 4 wins.
So there you go. You can always bank on that.
And they'll run that down to a field goal and win a game,
And they always seem to split with Cincinnati, so I gave them one of those as well. But it's still not going to be enough.
Is that a Monday night game?
No, I'm sure the Thursday night will pick it up, though. Thursday night always has those classic.
Not anymore. Thursday night's now national. It's on NBC. Yeah, it's all.
Those NFL Network games were awful. Yeah, I'll never forget I think it was Titans Jaguars the one week where they combined to be they were 3-20.
They had some bad colored dudes in there too for doing them games.
Yeah, so if it's a national, hopefully the quad will pick up. Games are always the best. The Sunday night games. The Sunday night games are always.
You're taking over the Monday night games.
Yeah, it is. That's the more.
It's easier to watch. It's not. You're already set with football for the day. So you got the Sunday night game is the 8:00. You're already either won or lost. You know what I mean? You're pissed off or you're happy. One way or another, the games mean something to somebody. Monday night became anticlimactic for. First of all, they started putting two games on Monday night.
It was just a 1 week.
Well, a couple weeks. The first couple weeks.
The first one.
This is the first one. I thought it was a couple. And it's just not. It's too commercialized anymore. The game is. It's almost like they want to. There's too much going on with the music, the halftime, the whole thing. It's just and it runs till 12, 1 o'clock sometimes at night. You don't even see the end of these football games. Where Sunday night, it's still the weekend. You're able to stay up and watch it because you're still footballed up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Even though both nights you still have work the next morning. But yeah, Sunday night still feels like more of a weekend night.
Good crew on Sunday night too.
Yeah, it's just and obviously the quality of game matters. The quality of game on Sunday is always the elite matchup. Right. That's where you'll never see the Broncos Patriots, which play every year on Monday. It's always Sunday. Right. It's always a Sunday game. That's where you'll see the Cowboys and the Eagles. It's going to be on Sunday night. There's kind of
what happens is
big rivalries.
The Monday night West Coast feed is different. You're talking about 6 o'clock. You're talking rush hour. Where on Sunday night, there is no rush hour. People aren't in cars. You're not running for it, especially having games out west on Monday night are difficult. It's difficult. When you drive time.
It's different. Yeah, different ball game. I don't know how we got to that. Oh, but it's actually funny when I mentioned that. I was looking at the first Cleveland-Cincinnati encounter is a Thursday night football game. So,
but still Thursday night. It's an 8 o'clock game.
I was just joking with the fact
NBC.
that you knew one of those games. You knew a Cleveland-Cincinnati game was going to be on TV for some reason. AFC South, your man crush, and we'll go with Indianapolis.
Indianapolis Colts. It's win time for them, right?
To win now, yeah.
Yeah, it's time. It's time for them to win football games. They have the next one there. They're running over. It's 10.5.
Which I think is
it's a minus 150.
One of the easier overs.
Yeah, the Colts are a good football team because they have one of those quarterbacks that you can start to say, if he's playing, they're a Super Bowl contender. Mm-hmm. I can't say that today.
Well, he's going to single-handedly win you multiple games.
Right. I can't say from what he's done in the playoffs. I can't say he's at that spot yet.
No, he's still not on the. Right. He's still on the Brady.
Right. So
Rodgers
I'm not.
level,
I'm not starting this year saying, oh, if you got you got Smiles over there. I call him Smiles. Kid hasn't stopped smiling since he got in the NFL.
Who? Luck?
Luck, yeah.
Constantly.
He's just always
What's
smiling.
Not to smile about?
I'm just saying, most people don't smile as much
You're
as this
the
guy
franchise.
does. Right. And now they got to do him. He's doing that commercial now. He's getting dressed up like an idiot. The rest of the quarterbacks. I don't even know who he's doing a commercial for. I just know they do it. What's it? Is it satellite TV or something, or the NFL package?
No,
we don't know.
I forget what it's for.
Yeah, right.
I forget what it's for.
And
I've
that's
seen
a shame in the commercial. We don't know what it's for. The whole idea is to know what it's for.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
With that being said,
10.5 is an easy over.
I like the over on that one. He's one of those tough quarterbacks. He doesn't go down either. Yeah. You know what I mean? He can take a hit. He's not scared. So I'm not worried about him getting injured.
No,
that's neat. There's no,
and with that division, we'll get obviously to it in a second. But that division's not very good. It's still both the South divisions, NFC and AFC, are both not very strong. So yeah, that's a clear over there. Right. I haven't gotten 13 wins. The Houston Texans.
They're 8.5.
Which is such a Houston Texans.
It's them. I mean, they're not. I don't think their window closed. They're revamping this team. Still a good defense. You got J.J. Watts. He's the draw. He's going to get them some TV time. Mm-hmm. He's going to get some picks. He's going to get some pick sixes. But all that's not enough to win. It's all good show. It's good talent. He's a up and coming player. I mean, he's already there. Okay, he's doing commercials and shit already. So I hope the distraction doesn't get to him. Because what happens with those guys? They get distracted. They get injured because of the distraction. Doing commercials and appearing places take away from your exercises and your weightlifting and the things you do to keep yourself healthy. All of a sudden, a knee goes out, ankle twist, or you're just winded and you don't make the play right, or you hit somebody wrong. That's what I talk about, distractions. That being said, that's the only attraction on that football team right now. He's the name. He's what's going to get them on TV. As far as wins and losses are concerned, the under and over is 8.5, and that's right where it should be. I like the under there, to tell you the truth. I think Houston needs to kick back a little bit and get an offense together.
For 8.5, I have Houston winning 8 games. I think that could be on the low side. I do think they can go over, but I just don't have it.
Somebody's got to lose some football games here for all these other teams to get these wins.
Yeah, I know. And trust me, with Jacksonville and Tennessee, there's going to be plenty of losses to go around. I do have, like I said, I do technically have them under. I haven't gone 8-8, but again, it's just I don't like the quarterback situation. With Foster being hurt too, it takes away from it. So it's going to be a defensive-led team, obviously with Watt. So I mean, it all depends on if the offense clicks. If the offense clicks, like I said, you can get rolling. You can get hot in that division because they said you're going to have games against Jacksonville and Tennessee, which are just 2 clear-cut wins. Speaking of them, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
5.5. That's all I'm going to say.
It's closer than you think. I do have it as under. But I do actually have them getting 5 wins. I think Jacksonville is on the way up.
They get 5 wins, not good enough.
No, I know. That's what I said. I still have them under, but it's not. I mean, they're not the laughing stock of the league like they were for the past 3-4 years or however long it's been.
Vegas still thinks they are.
Yeah, I mean, they're in the conversation for laughing stock, just like we say the Eagles are in the conversation for the Super Bowl. Yep. On the flip side, they're definitely in the conversation for the number 1 pick. I think they'll improve enough. They're bringing in good talent. I do like some of the signings they made with Julius Thomas and getting weapons for Bortles. Bortles doesn't look awful. And I guess I have some kind of faith in Gus Bradley to coach a defense. I don't really know.
Play.
But they do play Tennessee twice. That's 2 really good opportunities.
2 chances, yeah.
2 really good opportunities to get a win. I think they play something else really bad too. I don't really know. I'm looking at the schedule. I don't want to see anything that jumps out at me. They play Tampa. So that's a toss up there. So I have it under, but closer than you think. Not closer than you think. What do you have for Tennessee?
Tennessee Titans. Well, I think they're a 5.
Record wise,
5.5 minus 173 on the over.
On the over.
So they're looking to win over 6 games.
They're throwing some respect them.
Yeah, well, they're thinking they're going to get some kind of play from the quarterback, maybe a rookie move. I don't know.
Unless he has some kind of Cam Newton RG3 season. I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
I just there's no talent. The running backs are awful. The
Yeah,
receivers are not
they're
good.
depending on their quarterback.
And the defense stinks. Yeah.
That's like Mariota would have been great here because, well, I don't want to say great, but he would have been great here.
It would have been great.
Because
Yeah.
he would have had the
perfect fit.
Weapons were all over the place, man. He wouldn't have to do all the work.
Yeah.
Hand the ball off and let's see what happens. A lot of 2nd and 4s.
I know this isn't the fantasy show, but if Mariota did come to Philadelphia, you'd be talking about a serious fantasy sleeper there with Mariota.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he got himself drafted to arguably the worst offense in football. I have Tennessee winning 2 games, a whole whopping 2. And that's only I have him just splitting a game with Jacksonville, getting a win, and then I have him beating Carolina at home, and that's it. So Tennessee, I have him winning 2. And I can't see. I guess they could beat Tampa. They could beat Cleveland. They could beat Oakland. So there are winnable games out there. They do play the Jets, but I just think Tennessee's that bad. I think Tennessee is that bad. I don't think they're going to get it. So that's another clear under. As confident as I am with New England getting the over on their 10.5, I'm that confident that Tennessee's not going to win 6 games. We'll wrap up this with the AFC West, Denver and Peyton Manning's
10.5. The under's 10.5 minus 135. The over's over 10.5 is plus 105. Okay, so there's an if here. A little bit of if here. There's a Peyton Manning if. What do we got coming out? Last year he stepped back.
For 14 games, he was the same guy.
Yeah, he stepped well.
But for the last 2, he was not.
Yeah, exactly. And
3 if you want to count like playoffs.
Right.
And stuff.
And he came back from a terrible Super Bowl to almost get back there again, which was, nobody's more frustrated than he is. Still, he's the second dude at the table. Until he gets that second Super Bowl, Pop's there, Eli's there. They're drinking in a different part of the table. They're looking over at Peyton, who's doing commercials and stuff, making a whole lot more money than they are, but that doesn't matter at the Manning dinner table. So that being said, he's got to kick in this year, and he's got to get that Super Bowl. His chances are ticking away. I just don't think that they have an offensive line that's going to allow him to get there. But that's
I have Denver winning 13 games, which you would assume that's up there with like the cream of the crop. But
schedule wise,
yeah, but it's not even really because they have a tough schedule. They do play New England, they play Green Bay, some tough games. But that being said, they're like regular season champions to me. Like I feel like that's how it's up, unfortunately. And I love Peyton Manning, love him. Right. I feel like that's kind of how his career has been. Yeah. He's been a regular season champion.
The dude is
he's like the old Atlanta Braves.
Yeah,
he'll get to the playoffs every single year, but he got 1 ring. And that was it.
Same kind of. He's like Dan Marino. Same deal. You like Dan Marino. He played great football through the season. When the playoffs came around, other teams had more talent than he had around him.
Yeah.
But not to say that Manning didn't have the chances, though. He's lost a couple balls. You know what I mean? He could be 4-0.
How long has he been to 4?
He's won. I'm sorry.
He won 1.
3. He's been to 3. I'm sorry. Yeah. He won 1. He lost 1. He gave 1 away. I still say he gave the New Orleans Super Bowl to New Orleans because he's from New Orleans. He threw that out pattern interception twice, something he never throws.
Give it away.
He gave it away.
We didn't give it away. But again,
young man said, "Give it away."
But we will say we're not here to talk about Super Bowls.
I'm sorry.
We're talking about I'm not coming because I was talking about it too. We're here to talk about regular season over-unders. That's all we care about. Yeah. So we care about Peyton Manning getting 10.5, which he's going to do.
Correct.
So that's an over. And
sometimes I get torn off the subject.
No, but
part of my MO.
I brought it up with you as well.
Right.
So I'm not, I would love to blame you. I always do. No, you can't take it here. I can't put it on you. Kansas City Chiefs sold Andy Reid.
Only the wall gets away with that shit, too.
I earned it.
Andy Reid, one of my favorite coaches of all time, because he just does so much to help a team.
Is that sarcasm?
Well, you know what? To me, and I'll go off for 2 seconds on this one.
Go.
And a guy that had the opportunity to win Super Bowl after Super Bowl and managed not to win them because of a lot of stuff that he did, a lot of stubborn stuff that he did, prevented for that ring. He should have 5 of them. 4 Eagles and 1 Packer. All right. And what has he got? He's got 1 Packer and a lot of disappointment. And he tied his knot with McNabb, which was okay. McNabb was part of the problem too. McNabb was one of those quarterbacks who could win all season long, but these big games, if he fell behind in a football game, he was done. Except if he played the Giants, for the most part. But anyway, the Andy Reid, he'll manage to win a regular season games. He'll win them. I don't know. He doesn't cover spreads too well, as far as I'm concerned, when I'm on him. But as far as wins and losses, he's 10 wins. for the most part.
And what's their over under?
Their over under is 9.5.
It was 9.5. I technically have it as an over. I have Kansas City winning 10 games. I get not super confident about that. I could very easily see this team.
I'm sorry, I looked the wrong. It's not 9. It's 8.5. Looks like a 9.
All right,
it's 8.
I'm more comfortable now at 8.5. Again, I could see this. I could see them winning 7 games. I just don't. I have them winning 10, but I'm not. It's not like a very confident 10.
It'll be an Andy Reid 10.
Like I said, I have them having the same record as Baltimore. I'm more confident.
You know what he'll do? He'll beat the 10 bad quarterbacks.
That's Andy Reid. There you go.
And the 6 tough guys he had to lose to, which means he loses in the playoffs.
And looking at their schedule, some of the quarterbacks they play are the Tyrod Taylors, David Carrs, the whoever's starting in Houston's.
I'll go back to the microcosm of Andy Reid's career.
Jay Cutler, he plays.
Is the loss of Indianapolis 2 years ago, 37-7 at the half.
Yeah.
All you do is cry out on the field, run the ball.
That was such a good game, man.
And
that was such a good game.
You're down so, and the comeback of that, and to still be able to, if he's my coach, I'm the owner. He's gone after that game.
He can't.
Get the hell out of here.
That was his first year.
I don't give a shit. You do something like that.
You can't. It's embarrassing, but you can't.
He goes 7-0. Does an interview with one of the girls from Fox.
Andrews?
Yeah. No.
Pam Oliver?
Pam Oliver. Does the old Pam Oliver, you're in trouble. Once you do it with her, it's all down here after that. He wins 7 in a row. Andy Reid's a talk of the NFL. All of a sudden, he's bloviating all over the place.
I knew we were going to have it. We couldn't go a whole show without bloviating.
And what happens? He starts losing game after game.
Because they weren't that good.
Yeah, they weren't that good, right? So, once again, focus is out. He's not focused. He's focused on Andy Reid and Big Red wearing the red out in Kansas City prime area.
Big Red.
Disappointing.
Look, it's not his fault that they wear red. We gotta call him Big Red.
Hey, we call Big Red here.
They all call him Big Red. I know.
Big Red. I don't mind calling him Red. That's not derogatory, is it?
No, we wouldn't call him Big Black if he was doing the Steelers.
Jesus, when he was here on the radio show, we wouldn't even have to talk about him unless it was something good.
Oh well, there's no filter here.
No filter here. Shit.
San Diego Chargers.
What about them? What do you want to know?
They're always
San Diego's an 8.5. That's what they are. They're 8.5. Most of the time it would be 7, but now they're 8.5. So, I don't know what you have over there. You have I can't stand the quarterback. He's had his chance to be successful in this league. He had a couple good years. He always seems to run into the Colts or the Patriots to end his. Philip Rivers was doomed when the trade was made with Eli Manning. I think Rivers supposed to go to New York, right?
Rivers supposed to go to New York. Yeah,
Rivers supposed to go to New York. He probably would have done a lot better in New York in them years. San Diego is, what's wrong with San Diego? It's just not on the map. It's not on the map for, I've
never heard anyone complain about living in San Diego.
No, for living, it's fine. San Diego's, they've been to one Super Bowl, right?
They've been to, they got blown out.
They got destroyed by Denver? No, I'm sorry.
San
Francisco, right. That was one of San Francisco's, that was the Steve Young one. I think that was the Steve Young Super Bowl, I believe. Yeah. That's it. That's been their NFL rise right there. Other than that, they've been what you call the San Diego Schottenheimers. Play good season. At the end of the season, fall apart and lose to somebody just a little better than you. With that being said,
usually Brady or Peyton.
What do they win 8 games? I don't play San Diego. With that being said, I like them this Sunday.
For the Chargers, I'll take one win for every one of Phil Rivers' children. I think he has like 9 of them.
That's what he does. He don't play football. He makes kids.
He pops kids out. So I do like the Chargers to get the overs at 8.5.
What's she look like after 9 kids?
Probably gorgeous.
Are you kidding? 9? He has 9 kids.
8 or 9. I hope it's 9 because I chose.
I gotta check that. I gotta do a
Wikipedia. I think he has one on the way right now.
No offensive line.
Like not even being sarcastic, I think he literally has one like popping out now.
Damn, no birth control there, huh?
I'm gonna Google his children now. I never thought I'd Google Phil Rivers' children before. But yeah, Phil. I have the Chargers winning 9 games. Sorry, 9-7, which isn't over. San Diego. Again, like you said, it's
not a fact. It's just another team on the schedule.
Yeah.
That's always how they've been. It's just like
they'll always be in the conversation.
It's blasé. They always got a player who can play. Like Tomlinson ran that team for 6-7 years, and before him, they had what's his name? Oh God, who's the other back there?
for
San Diego
before Tomlinson.
Yeah,
Nature and Means.
Yeah, they had Means and a couple. They had a couple guys that ran the show back. That kept them on the map. There was their player. There was the marquee they had.
We always had Sayal for a while.
Yeah.
Offensively, they were pretty bad for a while.
Right. A couple of wide receivers. I mean, it's just blasé San Diego, man.
Actually, he has 7 kids. I think he's an 8th coming soon. So I'm sorry, Phil. I gave you an extra kid, but
right.
9 wins for San Diego. Give him the over. Again, not super confident about that one though.
Clip the Raiders.
And speaking of, we'll finish. What better team to go last with than the perennial last place Oakland Raiders?
Oakland Raiders are a 5. Okay, 5 wins. I mean, it's 5 wins. I mean, there's no 3s and 4s. You get 5.
That's what I was wondering. Like every year, somebody loses. Somebody only wins 2-3 games, 4 games. Does everybody get that much kind of respect to say, okay, 5.5?
I'm sorry, it's a 5.5. Yeah,
that's him. But it's a 5.5. That's still pretty generous for a lot of these teams, really.
Listen, the Raiders are, since Al Davis croaked, his son just doesn't know what to do. I mean, he's not. What they need to do is keep losing. They keep losing, get draft picks, and it's no good.
But they don't do anything with it.
They don't know what to do with it. They need general manager over there. The Raiders need to move
to LA.
It's time go back to LA. When they went back to LA, they won.
They also need Al Davis' son needs a new haircut.
Yeah, he's not.
That's the worst thing I've ever seen.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that. Yeah,
you gotta
exactly.
shoot that thing, man.
It looks like John Gruden in like 40 years, but like a sick John Gruden.
Yeah, it's like the reverse Trump.
Unfortunately, this one's real.
Yeah. Trump's hair is real.
Yeah.
Come on, you see that girl pulling it last week?
No, I don't.
That girl come up on the stage and pulling his hair to prove that it was real. And then she went up to the microphone and goes, I believe it's real.
He just put extra glue in it this week.
The Trump star.
Of course, Trump makes an appearance. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, it goes without saying I have Oakland with under. I have them going 2-14.
Okay. With that being said, we're done here, right?
Sure.
Right now, sitting here with me and you and I and you, the crew. Who's winning what are the 2 Super Bowl teams?
Super Bowl matchup now.
Yeah.
The way I'm seeing it.
Not the winner. I just want the
I know. I mean, obviously, AFC, I can't not go New England. NFC, Philadelphia.
Wow. How the hell the mighty have risen. Chip Potato last year wins 20 games in 2 seasons. Multiple quarterbacks. Multiple injuries. Players, subversive conversation. College coach. Different atmosphere. Romper room on the sidelines. Music. And pretty much changed the NFL, I think. Speed of the game. Was told it was never going to happen, never going to last. He was going to outcoach himself, his way of doing things. And I was one of those guys when he first came in and said that.
Shocking.
But I looked at it realistically. You can't work pro football players like college players because they're multimillionaires. There's stuff going on. You can't burn a pro out. And some players he did burn out. Some players left the team.
Some couldn't handle it.
But if you look at what he's done now, and now the league fears him. They fear what he's putting together there. It's too powerful. So the focus is going to be him like they did with Bill Walsh back in the day with the West Coast offense. They figured ways out. Buddy Ryan did it with the 46 defense. A couple other coaches did it for a while. Then the West Coast changed itself. It had to evolve with the chaotic defenses. And it will happen to this offense too. Players will be drafted faster, not as big. They'll be smaller and quicker. The hits are not as important anymore. It's making contact and bringing the player down without hitting them somewhere where you don't get a penalty flag. Chip's offense is contorted to that kind of football right now, where everybody else isn't really. So it's all about the speed of the game. It's not about hitting hard anymore. It's about how fast you can get to that end zone and get the ball back and get back in the end zone again. With that being said, I got to agree with you. This is a team that this year, in its 3rd year, and with a quarterback coming out of nowhere now, which is what I say, because I never saw this guy play. I didn't watch him play over in St. Louis. I hardly knew who he was, right? I wasn't on my radar. I see him throw 4 touchdowns in preseason, and they're some of the nicest throws I've ever seen. He's got a release. He's got a textbook release.
It's quick.
He's got a cannon.
Strong.
You know what it is? He's got a flick.
Accurate.
He's got the flick. He has the flick. Who had a flick like that? You know, Michael Vick had that. But only thing with Michael Vick, he would always do it while he was on the run. That's why it was never accurate. This guy's doing it from the pocket. So which means he can have a phone booth around him and still make that throw, which is key in the NFL.
Yeah.
And the pocket quarterback. Get guys around his ankle to make sure they don't hit it, and this guy could take the Eagles to the Super Bowl.
That's funny because usually of all cities, we're the most pessimistic of anything. We're usually, oh no, this isn't going to happen, blah blah blah. And here we are. Season's about to kick off a couple days. Well, technically, kicking off
tomorrow. Today?
No, tonight.
Yeah, 12. No, not yet. No, it's 12 o'clock right now. Good call.
Yeah.
Read your computer.
So it's kicking off tonight, and here we are saying, we're choosing them to win the NFC.
Yep. And
crazy.
You know what? And can they win the Super Bowl? Can they beat a Brady type of a team? Yeah, if you keep Brady off the field, or if you keep scoring enough,
they can run and shoot with them. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think honestly, the hardest part is going to be getting to there.
Yeah.
As opposed to when once they're there, I would line them up against the New Englands, up against the Denvers or whoever else you want to throw out there. The Indies.
You and I both. We're not rah-rah guys.
No.
We're not local rah-rah guys.
Mm-hmm.
And if I said the Eagles weren't good enough, I really didn't think they were a team. And when you see a first team go all out in preseason like they did on the defensive side,
mm-hmm.
and even the guys that aren't even here played well too. So that means the guys in front were that much better than they were. And Chip's no bullshit. And the reason I come to see that he is so focused on football, he doesn't care about what's going on around him, and that's what wins football games. That's what made Parcells a great coach. Belichick. I don't know. Maybe he cheated. Who knows? Maybe he didn't do shit.
Yeah, who knows how he became a good coach.
But let's go. Jimmy Johnson didn't care about anything but the Dallas Cowboys when he came here, day and night. Even Tomlinson. Tomlin for the Pittsburgh. He's another guy. He's 24/7 Pittsburgh Steelers. That's why he's been around so long. And 2 Super Bowls, right? He's got 2. Tomlin has 2. Yeah, he's 2. Right? Yeah. Cowher has 1. He has 2.
Seattle and Arizona. I think he was coaching Seattle, right? That wasn't Cowher, was it?
Seattle was in the 3rd Super Bowl
when they beat Seattle.
They beat Seattle. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, right.
I think Cowher might have still been there.
That was Cowher.
So I think Tomlin was one.
Yeah, he took over. He won that Super Bowl. Went to the booth.
But I think Tomlin lost to Green Bay though.
Yeah. So I'm pointing out coaches that are focused. See, the whole idea of the NFL and how you win is when in doubt, bet on the coach.
There you go.
That's what I do. When you have a team that you can't figure out, just look at the coaches. That'll
if you think
that'll be your sway.
If you think they're even on paper,
the coach.
Yeah.
Yep. Good show, Mikey the Wall.
Pleasure.
Way to get it done, man. I'm Cashy King, Mikey the Wall. This is our first annual, and we say annual because every year we're going to do this at the beginning of the NFL season.
We're going to win you money.
Right.
We're going to come back to this later when the season's over.
Yeah.
And see how much we won you.
That's right. We're going to figure this out. Join us Monday night, early show, Monday Night Football.
Pre-kickoff.
6 o'clock. We're going to do a 1-hour show. Take you right up into the Eagles Falcons game. And of course, next week, stay tuned for the next installment of Fantasy Football Wednesday.
That's Wednesday, 8 p.m., hosted by yours truly,
The Wall. Okay. Mikey Wall, Cashier King, Sports Goombas. Have a good one.
Thanks for sitting in.
All right.